Hello and welcome to another tarot reading. The topic today, or the message for today will be, what can you do to raise your vibration? How do you move from the vibrational state you are in today into a more lighter, brighter, softer vibration? And to receive that message today, we have here 3 cards that have been pre-chosen and crystals accompanying each card. For the first pile, we have Malaquite. The second pile is a pointed crystal with a combination of amethyst and smoky quartz. And the last one is a cluster of clear quartz. So as always, allow your intuition to lead you to where you need to go, and in this case, to the message you need to hear. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, connect with the energy of your heart, exhale, and when you are ready, open your eyes and allow your intuition to guide you. We're going to start with the first group, the Malaquite group. On the description down below, you will find the exact moment when your reading starts. See you then. Welcome. If you are here, it's because you chose group 1 and the Malaquite crystal. So we're going to leave the crystal here to guide us throughout the reading, and let's open your first card. Isis, the goddess of magic. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. So by seeing this card, I believe you are a very sexual being. You are a person who enjoys sexual encounters with his or her partner. There is already a lot of desire inside you. There is a lot of sexual energy flowing through you. You really find pleasure and release through sex. So maybe you haven't thought of sex as a way of increasing your vibration. Maybe so far you have seen it as a way of releasing something, releasing energy. If you're really stressed and you have sex with your partner, then you feel that release of, oh my God, that's what I needed, because you see sex as a outward energy. And I was about to say emotion, but an outward movement, however, sex can also be an inward movement, an inward rising of sexual energy for you to actually manifest things, or just, as we said at the beginning, raise your energy. So let's see what else can we see and tell you about how can you rise your energy now that we know you are a sexual being. And there is also the word magic in that card, the goddess of magic. We have the pyramids at the back. So I think that besides sex, there is something here for you as well around wisdom and confidence. Like you are kind of a confident person as well. Like it's easy for you to know what to do, where to go, what to say, maybe even encourage others. And you might have not consciously realized that while or by encouraging others or saying good things to other people, give them advice, something like that, you are actually also rising your vibration. I feel like you are already a very wise person. So let's see here. We have the 6 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Hanged Man. So let's see. What's the relationship with these cards and Isis? The Four of Coins, the King of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. These cards are making me think that you might be getting out of a relationship. Maybe you are coming out from a long-term relationship, something that kind of was keeping you stuck somehow, caged, a place where you really couldn't be. Maybe you were even with an abusive partner, whether maybe physically abusive. Well, when someone is physically abusive, it is very likely he or she will also be verbally abusive. So I think that your guides and yourself took yourself away from that situation. You realized, or you saw yourself like, I might die if I stay here, and so you removed yourself from that situation that was not allowing you to rise, that was not allowing you to become Isis. um, and so you found pleasure, you found um, happiness. You found something with this Ace of Pentacles that gave you, after you got out of this situation or this relationship, you realized that, it was like, phew, I'm out. It was a closed one. And you kind of found something you are treasuring very much, a little something. Maybe you realize that your passion for plants, or a gardening thing, or you realize that you are really good at reading crystal energy, or at baking, or something that at the moment is small because it's at the beginning. You just recently realized this, you recently found this gift, this ability, but you are treasuring it very much. And um, there might be someone that is trying to, maybe your ex-partner, if he or she didn't get the memo that you are out, they might be still trying to get back into your life, still try to, they feel very possessive over you. And not only them, like if you were married, or if you were in a long-term relationship, the mother or motherly figure of your partner felt that they also had control over you. It's also kind of, there is a situation going on with them where they felt that they owned you. They were the owner of you. They had the rights over your idea and over you as well. So there, if you're already out, there might be some leftover energy from their side. Like they are still kind of, maybe they are still bothering you. Your partner might be still, threatening you about something, or trying to communicate and infuse fear in your life. You will never get rid of me, or this idea, this new thing you are starting, it's because of me, so I'm gonna sue you. Something really heavy on their side. But you really are out of the goods. You are like, I'm out. You are in this new perspective. There was a energy, guiding energy, that told you that it was time for you to get a new perspective on this situation, that you had to take a new approach, that you needed to see things in a different light. And if it's not the case that you are out from it yet, take this as a sign for you to get out. uh, an invitation for you to start seeing yourself and your situation in a different light, in a different way. You are not a poor me person. You are not a slave. You are not weak. On the contrary, the main card of this reading is Isis, which is the goddess of magic. You know, beyond sex, this card says you are a magical being. Look at her. Look how powerful she looks and she is in this card. You know, she's kind of, I see here the sun and like all the elements, the fire, the earth with the pyramids in the back, air here, you know, like she's commanding her reality. She's commanding the elements. So if you are newly out of this heavy situation with your partner, now ex-partner, and you are only now beginning to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, continue on that direction. That will help you raise your vibration. The more you trust in yourself, the more you believe in your idea, the more it will work, the more you will make it work. And if you are still not out of the woods and you are still living this really heavy, dangerous even situation with your partner, take this as the invitation for you to get out, to see a way out, to see yourself in a different light, you know, just to change your outlook, just to change your the way you view things in life. I guess there were two paths for you available around this situation. One was a really hard work, you know, if you continue or continuing on that situation or with that partner meant that you will really struggle, you know, like kind of suffering, you know, like a slaving kind of situation. And in the other side, you had the chance of starting something new and you took the other chance, you know, you took the way out. So I don't think you will fall again in a situation where you will struggle. But again, this is up to you. You know, struggle with a partner. I mean, you kind of learned your lesson and you got out. And so when you have learned such a hard, difficult lesson as the one you just been through, it's really hard to get into it again. You know, like you won't want to be with a partner, a person that might behave in the same way again. So let's see what else can the cards tell us about what to do to raise your vibration, how to eliminate the debris of your situation and help you rise. So let's see what can this group do to continue raising your vibration, which I think already leaving these people is a big step towards raising your vibration, you know. Fluidity and outer core, life, breath. I think it will be a very automatic process. Oceans with bravery and depth lake. Okay, so I think this raising of your vibration will, as I said, will be kind of automatic. Now that you are out of the woods, now that you left that situation, you will just feel like you are reborn or you were reborn. You know, you will feel like, oh my God, I can breathe again. I can be myself again. I am discovering life all over again. You know, it's as if because you were kind of not given the opportunity, you know, you were really restricted during this relationship. So now everything will be, you know, a breath of fresh air for you. All you do, all of the new people in your life, all of the new experiences, the new adventures, the new you literally will be a breather, that will infuse life. All that's coming towards you now will infuse life into your life, into you. It will be like, oh my God, so refreshing. You will see and feel the energy rising in you and in your life gradually. The more you live, the more you stay away from these people, the more you kind of cut all and communications with them, the freer you will feel, the more alive you will feel. And there is a lot of, this is bravery. There is a lot of this energy. You see how she's like stepping on the world, but also using it as a playground. You are like that. You were very brave to leave this situation. And so now that you are finally free, the last thing you want is go back to being enslaved or go back to remain in a cage. So that's good, because what will happen with this is that you will, the more playful you are, the more the energy will rise. Okay, the more playful you are, the more you will discover the will to be alive. You will feel excited to try new things. The only recommendation here is don't give into the lake, into the depth of your feelings. Don't dwell on the past. Don't dwell on what happened. When you feel yourself falling back into the past and into the situation you were in with this abusive partner, if they were telling you things about yourself and you remember that and you allow yourself to rekindle those emotions in the present, that will hinder the progress that you might be making with this new move, with these new steps. So the recommendation is, do not, I know it's hard when someone hurt us to maybe immediately forgive or to let go of the anger or the frustration. But if you remember what happened with this person and then you start to, or you let the energy or the emotions build up, a memory brings back the past, comes back to the present through memory. Okay, so if you today you remember that your partner 3 years ago did this to you, you will feel again today the fear, the anger, the frustration you felt then. And so by remembering and fostering those feelings today, you give the past the power to continue existing in the present and therefore in the future. So the only thing that will make you drop in vibration with all of this life and new energy that you have now is if you give in to those memories and to those feelings. If you go really deep into this lake of past emotions and past feelings. So I'm not saying you repress them or you pretend it didn't happen, because that also does not help. But what I'm recommending is try to let them go. And how you let them go? If you have a memory or something in the present triggers a memory from the past, feel that pain, feel that frustration, feel that anger, but then don't collect it inside. Don't just keep it. Let it flow. You are feeling it, and it's as if it's a current of energy. Or think of a river. When the current comes really strongly, why the river can flow, or why we say the river flows, is because when the current comes, the river does not just suddenly closes its path. It just stays there, and so the water can pass. It does not retain the water. Okay, and so it's the same with emotions. When you feel the emotions, feel it, but let it flow through you. Let it flow through you so it can go. And that is a better way and a faster way and an easier way to process emotions. Okay, when you don't attach yourself to them, when you let them flow, when you feel them and then you let them go. That way you make sure they go. It's as if you are cleaning up energy and not just collecting dust, let's say, energetically in your body, or in this case collecting emotions. So let's see if there is anything else we can tell you about how to rise your vibration, because I think, as I said, you will naturally be doing that, by just starting a new life, just doing new things. Everything will be like such a discovery, because you were super contained before. You couldn't do many of the things you wanted to do. You couldn't be you. And so now every single thing you do will be like, uh, again, like a child discovering life. Or when you, like, when you go to a new country and you haven't seen any of the uh, sites there, everything is amazing and you are in awe because it's all new. So in this case, this is how life will feel for you. If not, it's not already feeling that way, soon it will feel that way. Okay, so let's see what else. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Dance with life, do something to change your energy. Boundaries, where do you need to establish better boundaries? Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be health. Yeah, so I think if you have really recently, I mean, and when I say really recently, I mean the past year, gotten out of this relationship, it might take you a while until you finally can dance with life, until you can finally feel like you are free again, until you finally kind of put yourself together and start enjoying what's happening in your life, because maybe you have to rebuild everything from scratch. So I understand it might take a while. Just again, don't dive too deep into the past. Don't stay there, rather. Don't stay there. Try to do something else. Try to move. It might be hard at the beginning, but just really try, okay? With these Pleiades, I think it's something that is coming, but it's not yet here. Maybe you do have a mission. We all have. Well, I feel tricky when it comes to missions, but of course we all have something to give to the world. You know what? That's why we're here. Otherwise, we wouldn't. If there were nothing that we can provide the world with, or that we can offer the world, then we wouldn't be here. So there is something we all have here to offer. If you don't feel that way, it's because of this situation. It's super normal. But this Pleiades card is here to confirm that you have a mission. If you want to see it in that light, or you want to see it that way, you do have something here to do. The reason why the card came upside down is because it's not time yet, and here for you to kind of step into that mission. So if you, for example, got out of the situation with your ex and you thought on starting to talk about it, um, so that others can avoid going through the same, but then you see that there is no audience for you, or that your message is not reaching or not having the impact that you wished for it to have, note that that's really normal. Why? Because the stage you are in is not yet the one of the speaker. You need to first replenish. You need to first give yourself, you first need to rebuild, learn to set boundaries. I think you are very much in this, you see how she's extending her hands and being like, no, you will not come here, you will not take from me, okay? I think that's, yeah, the first step you want to take after you've gone out of a situation like that. So note that it's really normal if you don't feel really vibrant or alive right now. If you don't feel that you are excited about restarting or rebuilding your life, if you don't feel like, oh my God, I am there, I have so much energy, so much vitality. If you don't feel all of those good feelings, know that it's super normal. And it's really normal because the first step now is to set boundaries, to replenish, to give yourself back, to pamper yourself, to reconnect with yourself, to forgive yourself for allowing yourself to stay in that situation for so long. So it's so normal that you cannot maybe dance with life yet. But it doesn't mean that that is not available to you. Actually, it's really available to you because of all of the other cards that we have seen. You are starting something beautiful. So with the Ace of Pentacles card that we got at the beginning, if you found this little notch of, or this little piece of happiness, whether it's because you got a new dog, because you bought a new house, or rented a new flat, and you're like, oh, this is finally my space, or because you got a new job at a bakery or whatever, like, and you are feeling the love for that new job, even though it might seem small to others, but you are loving that. Allow yourself to love that, because that new thing, that new beginning, is a seed. It's a seed that you are planting and is yours. and is going to help give yourself that replenishment you need, and start setting boundaries. If you cannot set boundaries in a loving manner yet, don't worry about that. You are not a bad person just because you are angry or because you are aggressive. I don't encourage you to be, but if that's the state and that's all you can give, it's so normal. Okay, so don't worry. You've been through a lot. For what I can see here, you've been through a really difficult situation. So we can only give what we have. And if you don't have anything, if you don't have love, it's hard to give it back because you don't have it. So don't be so hard on yourself as to yeah, be angry at yourself and be like, oh, I am the worst person because I, replied very rudely to this lady in the street, or I did not, share my food with a homeless, or, maybe you are homeless yourself or almost. So don't be so hard on yourself, okay? So it will be a gradual rising of energy for you. If you still don't feel like you are completely infused with new life, completely infused with new love, completely infused with new sense of adventure, it's super normal. It will come. Just give it time for it to come, okay? Slowly, you will see that there will be new ideas coming your way, new people coming your way, new experiences coming your way. So just give yourself time, okay? Allow yourself to purge whatever happened in the past. And just by allowing life to happen, to flow through you, okay? That will automatically rise your vibration. So if you would like to seek coaching sessions with me to help you walk through the change in your life, you can reach out to me. My contact details are below. If you will want some other session, a private session with me, maybe a private reading, a meditation session to help you center back into your energy, and a Akashic reading to see what are the next steps. Maybe you are feeling a little bit lost and you are like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Maybe an Akashic reading might clarify all those questions. So if you are interested in anything, if you want to learn to develop your intuition, below I also have an experience where where we spend 2 hours together, and I help you open up to your intuition and your uh, psychic abilities, which by the way we all have and we can all tap into. So if any of that might serve you, just check out the links below or send me an email, and we can schedule a discovery session where we talk about how can we work together for your benefit, and what type of experience I can facilitate for you so you can maybe raise your vibration. So if that's something that calls to you, I will be super happy to hear from you. And if not, just you can help me and contribute by um, giving a thumbs up to this video and maybe sharing it with others that might be interested in knowing how to raise their vibration as well. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. And now we move on to the next group, the pointy crystal with smoky quartz and amethyst. Hello, group 2. If you are here, it's because you chose the pointy smoky quartz and amethyst crystal. So we're gonna leave it here. I love this crystal because it's like a really enigmatic one. I never know what type of energy it's going to give me, even though I know what a amethyst crystal and a smoky quartz crystal does, and still I am always surprised by what type of help I'm going to receive from this one. So let's see, let's open your main card, and it says Bridget, the goddess of the eternal flame. I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows bigger. Ooh, talk about a great advice for raising your frequency. I think it's just a reminder, the way you can raise your vibration, the way you can raise your frequency is by remembering that you are eternal, and that every day you improve, every day you build on on the wisdom, on the experiences of the previous days, and all that happens in our lives help us reach there. So I love this message for you. I love the energy of this card. I am the frequency. It is almost saying, right? I am the eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. So let's see what else we have for you. What can you do, or how can you raise your frequency, your vibration? What to do so that can happen? And let's shuffle these cards and ask, what can you do to raise your frequency? What can you do to raise your frequency? So much power in her, right? Like I see her and I think about confidence and boss lady, someone that knows how to lead, someone that has a destiny, like she, more than a destiny, she has a path. She knows what she wants and she's gonna get it, right? That's what I think when I see her. The moon, um, upside down, and then messages from water, eight of earth, nine of water, page of water. Ooh, lots of water. Seven of earth. I'm gonna take two more. Eyes of fire and two of earth. Okay, so lots of earth and water energy here. So let's see, I'm gonna move these cards over there. We're gonna use them in a moment, but let's see. What are these cards trying to tell us now about how to raise your frequency? I think what they are saying with the moon card upside down is stop making yourself sad. And what I mean by that, and it's something that came up in my life as well, where we have the chance to be happy, because that's a choice, but we choose otherwise. We choose to remain sad, to remain angry, to say, oh, poor me, even though we can actually very easily, maybe sometimes not so easily, and then that's why we choose not to be happy, right? But happiness is a choice, is something that we can decide if we want to be or not. And with the moon card upside down is your guides, or you people in your life, or in general, are telling you to stop seeing only the sad things, stop living in the past, stop uh, remembering what happened when you were younger, or stop remembering how anything or nothing has worked out for you. Like with the moon card reverse, I think you live very much in the past. Looking back, you live very much all the time concentrating on your emotions, but maybe on the denser side of the emotions, on the lower side of emotions, like sadness mainly. Oh my God, I can never do anything right. Oh, poor me, things like that. So the messengers of water are telling you, move away from that. Let go of it finally. Like stop thinking negatively all the time. Stop um, um, putting yourself into a victim mentality. Like really move away from that. And I think what happens here with these water cards is there was a desire you had, like there was something that maybe you really treasured or you really wanted to achieve, and two things could have happened. The first one, that you had it, maybe there was this partner or this project, though it feels more with water, I feel more it was a relationship. So you had maybe this partner or this relationship that was amazing. You thought he was the jewel of your life. He was the one, he was everything you ever wished for. And so because you saw him as this bigger than life thing, like the perfect partner, which by the way he was not, but you saw him like that. So you kind of fantasized, even though you had him or her, you fantasized about him or her, you were like, oh, I love you, and you were just staring at him, you are the best thing that ever happened to me, and all those things. But it was a little bit superficial because it was a fantasy you had. If this relationship did not happen, if you found that person, but then maybe he or she was not into you the same way you were into him or her, and the wish did not come true, then that brings another difficulty, because then you are like, well, or that brings us back to the moon card and why you insist on remaining sad, because you had this desire and it never happened, it didn't come true, and so that's why you are in this victim mode of, "Ugh, nothing ever works out for me," and that's why you don't want to listen to the people telling you just move on, because it's hard for you to ground, with the 8 of earth. It's hard for you to be with the feet on the ground. You prefer dreaming. You prefer um your idea, your ideal. You are somehow, you are still a child in many aspects, in many ways. You are still this child that is kind of living in a fantasy world, right? And when I say this, like, I am an eternal flame and each day my light grows bigger, you see how this 7 of earth is looking at her like, really? Is that what you think? um no, you don't necessarily believe that's true, right? And that's why that's not true in your case or for you. And it's not that it in reality is not true, it's just that you don't want to make it true, or you don't want to accept it because of the difficulty you have seeing your own light. So when you were in this relationship, or you had this ideal, you projected all of your power, or all of your desires, all of your everything into the person. Okay, you saw that person as the greatest thing ever. So there, your fire was dim, that it was very small, but not because that person did that, but because you chose to reduce your fire and kind of let the fire, the light of that person shine bright. Even with the 2 of air, it's as if you have a little bit of hard time balancing reality from fiction. You live very much in your head, and because it's a better place in your head, your fantasy world is a better place than reality. You don't really like to be in this reality. You don't really enjoy the experiences that life has to offer because they are not nice. In your dreams, in your head, in your fantasy world, you can have any person you want, any partner you want, the life that you want. But in the real world is not the case, or that's what you say to yourself. In the real world, I am not the eternal flame. I am not this princess that needs, or prince that finds the princess, or the princess that needs to be rescued. There are no dragons and castles and knights in this world. And so I'd rather choose my own. I'd rather create my own. And so that's what you are trying to do. You are trying to balance existing in your fantasy, the energy of your fantasy world and the reality of Earth. And you put more effort or more energy or more into your head, into your creations, into the creations of your head, than into the real world. And let me tell you, that's the reason why you cannot manifest this partner, because you give more emphasis into the fantasy, but you think about this as a fantasy, so not something not real. So even though the imagination is a great tool for us to manifest things into this world, into this reality, if when we imagine, we think, or we tell our brain that it's just that, just imagination, fantasy is not reality, then that's why it doesn't happen in real life. So we were talking about how to raise your vibration. And the first thing is, stop dwelling in the past, or stop living only in your head, only in your imaginary world, on your emotions. Your emotions are very much of a victim mentality, or like, oh, poor me person, and at the same time, not literally, or not really living into the reality or in the real world. So Let's see what else can the cards tell us about how to raise your frequency, because you have chosen to dim your light, maybe because you don't see yourself as the eternal flame. You don't see as yourself as this god or goddess that can make everything happen. And so again, fantasy is a better way of living your best life, but then you are really not, right? Because it's like it's just in your head, it's not true. But you do this, as I said, because you don't think you have the fire, you don't think you have what it takes, you don't think you are anything special. So why should good things happen to you if you are not special, right? So how can you raise your vibration? Your third eye. Okay, so use that gift. Let's see what else. More third eye consciousness. Well, this is seven chakra. Determination, release, nourishment. Yeah, so that's one. Self-trust. Yes, so I think with this, having this third eye chakra here tells me that, as I was saying, imagination is a great tool for us to manifest things, because it is true that everything really first happens in our heads. We have to imagine it, we have to see it in our heads for it to come true, for it to be a reality. So with this third eye chakra, is saying you already see all of the possible options in your life. You can already imagine what is possible for you, what can happen in this reality. So use that energy of your imagination to determine what do you actually want to have in your life. Use that third eye to communicate with your consciousness so that you can actually manifest things. But first, release all of those ideas that tell you that dream life cannot be here, cannot happen. And now, if you are into fantasy books and you are telling me, well, even if I release my idea that those things cannot happen here, and then I start to believe that everything that I imagine can happen here. So tell me, where is my dragon or my unicorn or all of those things? Where is my castle? I think we can have all of those things here, but just in a metaphoric way, or just in a different way. There are spirit guides that are dragons. So if you do want to have dragons in your life, then call in your spirit dragons, your spirit guides in the form of a dragon. If you want to have your knight in shining armor, imagine a person, that can live or can be or embody that energy or of a knight in this reality. Trust me, you will be surprised how many people out there really have this. Just look at YouTube talking about, if you want to be a princess, or you want to dress like a princess, or be rescued like a princess. I don't know the name of the girl, and I'm sure there are many, but I've seen this particular one whose name I don't remember. But she makes TikToks, and in every TikTok, she dresses like a princess, and I think it started with swords. She was fan of swords and fantasy books as well. And I believe now she models or does photo shooting for people that, do those kind of, I don't know what's the, cosplay is the name, cosplay? I don't know. That they disguise themselves as princes and princesses, and she's princes and princesses, and she's making a living out of that. So in her world, she can be a princess because she dresses like one every day, and that's her work and that's her life. So it's not impossible to bring into this reality castles and dresses and crowns and tiaras and dragons. It really isn't. So you just need to trust, release the fantasy, release the idea that tells you it's not possible, and set the determination of, I will make that possible. I will make that fantasy life that is no longer a fantasy possible in this reality. I trust myself enough to provide to myself what I want to see in my life. I release the belief that tells me that I can't have the life I want, that I am not good enough, that I am not the eternal flame, that I am not the master in my reality. I am releasing what no longer serves me. I am releasing the past so I can actually start trusting, so I can actually start manifesting, so that my consciousness can bring into my world what I want it to bring into my world. And again, your third eye is already seeing the possibilities. If you can imagine it, and that's not just a saying, it's the reality. If you can imagine something, you can make it possible, okay? There might be some adjustments. You might not necessarily be able to 3D print a full-size dragon, right? That breathes fire and it's alive, but you can certainly have spirit guides that are dragons. And there is a lot of people already that work with them. You know, there are oracle cards with dragon guides on them. So it is possible to have them in your life. Fill your house, maybe not fully, but bring into your house some paintings of dragons, and you will have then your dragons. You know, I'm just saying dragons. I don't know why. Maybe you like dragons, or maybe the dragon energy is present. Yesterday there was a dragon guide in my house. It works with my father, so maybe that's why the dragon energy is very present in me right now. But you see, so it's possible to have this princess feeling life in this world. Another TikTok example, there is another girl, many girls, but I don't see them all. And I should remember their names or their account name on TikTok that creates tiaras. And this particular girl, I think that she sold tiaras to Paris Hilton to wear at different events or her birthday or whatever. So there is somebody out there that is already living a princess life. You know, Paris Hilton, she created her own kingdom and her own pink life, and she's living it. So it's possible for you to be a princess in this world, okay? So release the fantasy, not the dream, but the sense of this isn't real, this is impossible, so it can actually be. So what else can the guides and the cards tell us about how to raise your frequency? Water, the time master, the blade, and the gatherer. Many paths, possibilities. You see, I think with water, it tells me two things. Again, it's something like a crystal ball, but made of water. So you can see the possibilities, you can see the future with the many paths, you know. But also water flows. It flows so it can create life. It goes places so it can infuse its energy to different things, to different areas, to different energies. So flow, you know, maybe this flow means you need to either change physical location. If you are all the time in your house, go somewhere else. You don't have to move there, you know, live. If you want, you can go and live somewhere else. But if you still don't feel ready for that, just take a short trip, couple of days. You don't have enough money for a trip, no worries. I'm sure you can take a bus somewhere new, okay? So take the bus and go to that somewhere new. Flow, move locations, move places, either long term or short term, it doesn't matter, but move so that you can actually see the many paths, so see the different lives people are living. Sometimes we get caught up in our own reality, in our own lives, and we forget that there are people living a completely different reality than ours. So go and search for those different times. Time master, control time. Become this amazing person that can say when things happen for you, you know, how they happen. Become this time master. And how can you do that? How can you raise your frequency enough so that you can control life or influence time by deciding, by calling in, you know, with the blade is kind of calling in the energy, drawing in the energy, pointing the blade to what you want to happen, you know, like point your consciousness. And how funny that blade fell on top of consciousness, because consciousness is the energy that makes everything happen. So the blade gives the energy a direction. The blade is the tool through which the consciousness can flow. And in this case, you are the blade. Like the first card said, I am the eternal flame. So you are the eternal flame. You are the blade. You are the one who makes things happen. You are consciousness. You direct consciousness. And the gatherer is same. You know, in this case, She is gathering maybe plants and fruits and all, but you gather what you need to make your dream come true. Do you need to create some contacts with people? Do you need to again collect the princess dresses? Do you need to change your appearance a little bit? Do you need to learn a new skill? You know, what do you need to gather? What do you need to have so that you can make all of this true? And like a sorcerer also has lots of potions and lots of ingredients and lots of elements that he or she mix so that whatever he or she is making can come true. So the same, you know, it's like a progression. You gather the elements first, then you do your magic and you make things happen with the many paths. So everything is a circle. You have support. You can create things. You can make things happen, but you really need to release the fantasy and you really need to believe that you can make those things possible, that those things can happen. You need to become the sorcerer that makes things happen. You are the eternal flame. And so that's how you raise your vibration. You are the eternal flame, recognizing your power, recognizing that you can, trusting yourself, becoming consciousness, and directing that consciousness towards what you want to see in your life. I hope this video help bring some clarity into your life. And if you want to maybe learn how to develop your skills, your psychic abilities, how to open up your third eye, I offer 2 experiences, one so that you can connect with your guides, and another one which is connected to that one, how to open up your intuitive gifts and how to develop your intuition. So down below, I will leave you the link to the experiences, and if you feel called to book any of those, to connect more with your own energy, with the universe, and so on, you can book the session, and it will be my pleasure to contribute to your dream of becoming a princess in this world. I will then see you next time, and we move on now to the last group with the cluster of clear quartz. Bye. Hello, group T3. If you are here, is because you chose the cluster of clear quartz. I think this was one of my first crystals. I got it after my initiation to the Akashic Records, and so it not only holds the energy of the records, but it's also really powerful channeling crystal. So let's see what is your main card for this reading about how to raise your vibration. Wow, really powerful from the beginning. I am not sure I'm going to pronounce this properly, but I will try. Hadija, the mother of believers. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. So maybe you need to raise your vibration to raise your finances. Something that I've seen throughout these readings is that the main card is telling us maybe not necessarily the energy we already feel or how we currently feel, but the possibility, okay? It's showing us the potential. This is what you need to do to raise your vibration. Believe that you are spiritually and financially abundant. Know that you provide heaven and earth for myself. So you create your reality, okay? Let's see what else the cards. I'm always hesitant. The cards tell us about what else can you do to raise your vibration. If you don't feel like that, if you are not there yet, so then what can you do to receive that financial abundance and to be also spiritually abundant? Because ultimately, a spirit is the one who actually decides our life. So let's see. Okay, so some solar plexus work. Oneness. Remember that we are all one. radiant light, the same. We are radiant. You are a radiant being, right? Purification and fearlessness. Okay, last one, higher knowledge. All right, so let's see where or how can we make all of these cards fit so you can see them. Let me fix the layout for you a little bit. So we move the solar plexus one here, one is over there. We move the crystal up. So I think if you are lacking personal power, or if your vibration is low and you are not living your best financial and spiritual life, it's because there is some fear or some energetic shortcut in your solar plexus. So you might not feel that you are this radiant light we see here. You might not feel that you can make this happen. Maybe you don't really, you might be in a situation or in a place where you believe that things happen to you, you know, like you can't control them, you cannot influence them, you are not powerful enough, but you are. I mean, as I said, the main card shows the energy you already have. You just need to embody it. And look how powerful she is. You know, she's even, you know, if you know a little bit or you've heard about the power of the poses in your body or the movements in your body, she's certainly having a powerful pose there, you know. So you need to be fearless. Something that you need to do to raise your vibration and to be able to activate this radiant light in your solar plexus, which again you already have, is battle your fearness, purify your fears, purify your root chakra. And working with the root chakra, if you don't know what the root chakra is, it's an energy center at the base of the spine that regulates, in this case, belonging or fear. And so you need to work on that, you know, where in your body or in your consciousness is that fear of not belonging or not being able to have the power to make this happen, you know. It's important that we remember that we are one. The purification card here is signifying the purification of these fears, the purification of letting go of what no longer serves us, or the purification of the energy in your body. You know, how you purify that with the connection to your energy, because it says spiritually and financial abundance. So you purify yourself by connecting with your body, which will, as consequence, connect you back with the higher knowledge that you already have, that you already are. It's just that from the level you are now, vibrating at now, you cannot see it, you cannot perceive this higher knowledge, but you already have it. So it's very important that you address your fears, you work with your solar plexus, and you purify all of those beliefs that are holding you back, or all of those beliefs that are telling you you are not capable of providing for yourself or providing for your family. All of those beliefs that are like, you know, I don't know how to do it, I don't see the way out, or I don't see the way through, or I don't see the way forward, or I don't even see any way at all, you know, I don't see anything in front of me. So remember, you are already complete with that oneness card there. You are already complete. You are already connected with that consciousness that provides for all of us. You are that consciousness. But that purification card is like really jumping out at me. So I think it's really about letting go, cleaning up. Purification is kind of a process through which you remove substances, you know, you remove what you no longer want, what no longer serves you. So I think that that's what you need to purify, you know, you need to eliminate toxins from your body, you know. So if you smoke, try to reduce the smoking. If you drink heavily, try to reduce the heavy drinking. If you eat very greasy food or a lot of sweets, try to purify your body, but at the same time also try to purify your mind, because it's funny how we forget one and we kind of go more with the other one. So if you are more comfortable purifying your body, you will do that because it's easy. but you will forget about purifying your emotions, purifying your light body, purifying your mind, you know. If it's easy for you to purify your mind and your emotions and meditate, but really hard to let go of sweets or cigarette or food, then you will purify the mind but not the body. And so you cannot do one without the other. You actually need to do both. So purify both. That will help you feel fearless. That will help you recognize and connect with that higher knowledge and become that radiant light that you already are. Okay, just to embody this mother of believers energy. So the star, let's see what else we have here. The 5 of fire in reversed, the 4 of earth. I will explain them now. I just need to lay them down. The 10 of water in reverse. And the magician. Yeah, you're definitely not recognizing your power. You really don't see yourself as a powerful being, but you are. The page of air is like your soul is calling for liberation. Your soul really wants to express itself and it wants to live fully, you know. It's time to raise your vibration. It's time you take your base and fill it, you know. It's time. It's like the purification process goes with the star card and the tarot. Usually that signifies healing or reprogramming or purification, you know. In the end, when we say that we are healing, it's because we are letting go of things, right? We are purifying, we are cleaning up. So that's the energy of the star card. And so this process is two ways, or it has two sequences. First, you need to collect all of the garbage, put it in the basket, and throw it out. In this case, what's the garbage? All of the thoughts, all of the experiences, or all of the feelings that no longer serve you, that happened long time ago in the past, and that you just keep carrying with you, or just bringing them with you in whichever situation, relationship, business, everything that you do. So you pile them up, put them into the basket, and throw them away. Then that basket, you can fill it again with good things, with good thoughts, with good energy, with water, so that you can finally purify all of that. So you need to start telling yourself new things. You need to start reprogramming your life with new emotions, okay? And maybe in the beginning, you will be like, and so what do I do with this? Where do I go from here? But again, it is a process, you know. At the beginning, you might not still recognize your power after you do this cleanup or during the cleanup process, but you will slowly get there. You will start to see that you do have things to offer, that you do have power, that you do have abilities, that you do have skills. And maybe, you know, you will slowly and really shyly start offering your gifts or your ideas or your things, and they might or might not be welcomed the way you wish. But you know, this is a tricky thing that the universe has. When you decide, you are like, okay, so I know that I have to purify my energy. I know that I need to grow my, you know, I need to grow in my emotions. I need to start offering what I have to offer. And so you do that, and the first thing, or the way those things are received, is by people laughing at them. You know, they might or not know that you are really shy about the process, and that it's really hard for you to actually go and tell them about the things you are doing. And so they will maybe not mean, maybe they won't be mean, but like, if it's really hard for you to express your feelings or your emotions, and one day you just blurt out whatever, you know, you want to say, you just say it, and because you are not used to saying things, so it comes out a little bit funny, you know, it sounds a little bit funny, and so people laugh, and you feel horrible because they don't know that your biggest fear is having people laugh at you when you speak. And so that, when that happens, if you had to be very courageous to want to speak your truth and to go or offer your product or service or your ideas, and then it's welcome, that offering is welcomed with laughter or mockery, you will then not want to do it again. You will go back to doubting, you will go back to withdrawing into your energy because they are laughing at you. But again, I was saying, this is kind of a joke from the universe. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it will happen, okay? Because the universe, which is you, will want to not necessarily test you, but like kind of expose you a little bit to what can happen, you know. And it's very normal, very common that people laughs at other people, you know, whether in a funny way, you know, just in a relaxed way or in a difficult way. So the trick here is not to go back to the cocoon you just came out from. On the contrary, you need to move forward. You need to build resistance, and you build a little bit of a shield or thick skin around you, and know that that will happen many times. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it happens. You can continue moving forward. You can move forward even if people laughs, because it's just the first step. It's just the first kind of boundary, the first difficulty in the path. And I'm not saying there will be many, but I will say that you will find some. You know, you will find some, and you cannot stop just because you find some difficulties along the way. And you cannot stop because this is your heart desire. This is who you are meant to be. You want to express yourself in the world, and you can be like, no, I really don't. Yes, you do. You know, a part of your soul, a part of your desire is to express, to create, to be, to exist in this world. There is the desire, but you are just, you know, with these major cards here, the Empress reverse, the Magician reverse, the Chariot reverse, you don't trust yourself yet. You don't believe you can make it. You don't see yourself as the Empress or the Magician. You don't want to move forward because it's a scary world, you know. But you have to. You have to, because that will only be in your benefit. That will really only bring you good things. And again, it might be hard at the beginning. It might be hard at the beginning to jump from super shy to outspoken, and you don't have to do that jump. You can do it step by step, small steps, short steps, shy steps. It's okay, but you need to step. You need to start the walk, and you will find this laughing Buddha in front of you. It doesn't matter. Maybe he is really not laughing at you, but with you. Maybe he found you really cute, and it's like, oh, this girl or boy is so cute. Look, offering his little gifts now, finally stepping into, you know, like, it's not a mockery. It's just, again, oh, she is so cute. So you will find people like that, and it's so normal. So don't go back to your cocoon, okay? Build a thick skin. Not everyone will be mean. The world is not full of mean people, and that's something else you need to believe. There will be people to support you. We are not alone in this world, so we are not isolated. We want to believe we are, but we are not. You know, we really are not. There will be someone always there to support you. There will be always someone that will want to hear what you have to say. It's just natural. That it's natural, because that's how the world works. We are not alone in this life, in this energy. There is so many people with us in the same, walking the same path that we are. So you not always will find difficult people. You will not always face mockery, but you need to be strong enough to face those times when you do. So let's see, here we have some other cards. The crow is like a messenger between worlds. You know, there is a messenger, is an animal, an energy that can communicate with the higher realms, the middle realms, the lower realms. And I think that showing up in your reading means that there is a messenger, there is an intermediary that is connecting you with different dimensions and different worlds, whether you have a spiritual practice or an esoteric practice or not. You definitely have a connection with other realms, and you have an intermediary, a guide that is kind of trying to connect all of your selves, all of your identities in different dimensions, and bring the energy and the information that one of your aspects needs to know or receive from others. This is not necessarily complicated, but it has to do with different dimensions and the fact that we exist, that we are multidimensional beings and we exist in different places, okay? So the crow is saying, I am with you. You know, I am kind of organizing, see it as a project manager in a company. is the person that, or the energy, the guy that is in charge of organizing that everything goes well and that every aspect of you is communicating with other aspects of you, whether you are conscious of that or not. Um, there is a lot of new energy coming your way and already present in your lives, but maybe you are just not receiving it. There is a sacrifice. And a sacrifice, what it means is a change. She's holding a butterfly in her hands. Like, again, I'm talking about cocoons. I was saying that before. So the sacrifice is you welcoming you, a different you. Is the not like maybe an old you or the new you giving birth to another new you, like uh, if you see yourself as this energy or this mature woman is giving birth to another aspect of herself, maybe a more maybe a lighter aspect, maybe a funnier one, a more relaxed one, okay, but is you giving birth to a new you and having to maybe and gather or gather energies, elements, things that you need to have, so you can finally let go or release or cut cords or connections with people that you no longer need in your life. Like if you had a fight with your mom 2 years ago and you guys still not talking because of that, it's time that you go and settle things with your mom, because soon you will be passing through this sweat lodge that is the one that will purify you, and we were talking about purification here. So before you enter this sweat lodge and come out as a luminous warrior and a wild woman, which is a beautiful balance of the feminine and masculine energy within, you need to cut the cords. You need to put an end to things. And I think that's what you are going to be doing next. You are going to be like, okay, I have this person in my life that should no longer be there. So I go and tell her or not, or him, but maybe not. And you just decide, I'm not good talking to this anymore. I'm cleaning up my house. I'm cleaning up, maybe I'm going to quit my job. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying if there are things holding you back in your life, you need to go and cut the cords there. That's what the Gatterer is saying. You need to get ready. You need to get ready so you can cross the portal that would bring you to this luminous warrior and wild woman energy, because it's a new birth for you. You will be reborn. You are being reborn. And that will automatically, this sweat lodge passage is going to automatically allow you to raise your frequency. It will be the portal that will help you raise your frequency. And we talk about portals. It doesn't have to be, well, August is coming, so it could be I think it's the Lionsgate portal in August. So that might be the portal. So you have that you are waiting for, so you can step into this balanced, this powerful energy. So you have month and a half to go and collect, cut, clean up, let go of loose ends, so you can finally step through the sweat lodge that will bring you here. So that's what you can do to raise your vibration. Cut the cords, let go, and at the same time gather what you need. Keep in your life, collect in your life the things, and they can be either physical things or energetic things that you need and you want to keep to the new version. You want to continue implementing in the new version of you. It's like packing your luggage for the trip. Yeah. So that's what I have for you today. If you will want to book a personal reading so we can find out more about this rite of passage that is coming your way, or you need maybe some direction and you want to have an Akashic reading, or maybe you need some coaching as to what to do next with all of what is happening in your life, or all the information you are receiving, I will be so happy to work with you if we are a good fit. So I will leave my contact details below and links to all the different experiences I offer. But if not, if you just want to spread the love and share this with someone else that might benefit from listening to these messages, I will appreciate if you share it with them. Thank you very much for being here with me today, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.